my god! It's a Twin Blades variant. There's a Maelstrom on the backside. Phantom's picking up more kills, finds Andrew as well. It's a triple. Oh, look at Tahaka. Finds the Abathur top lane 6. Great Ring of Frost connecting onto 4 members. We might have a comeback for the ages. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Will they be able to escape? ETC does fall. What a counter attack by Regen Red, and he's gonna barely get away with his friggin' teleport ability. Holy shit! That was really spicy. Ladies and gentlemen across North America, all of your favorite teams are here in the Heroes of the Dorm. If you are a college Heroes of the Storm fan, today we have Texas A&M up against University of Toronto, the Maroon 5 versus the Varsity Blues. Both teams enter this week 5-1 in the standings. So outstanding performances thus far by these squads. Just finding out that our lobby will be opening up as we speak here, and I see that Texas A&M chose to ban out Dragonshire. University of Toronto just banned out Volskaya Foundry. Map number 1 in this best of 3 series will be Cursed Hollow. And I completely have the teams on the wrong side, so I'm going to try to switch those for you. Let's see if that works. Their pictures are going to be switched in game. Let me see if I can update that really quick for you while we got a moment here. I do my editor mode, and then how do I do this? Studio mode. No, that's not it. This is it. Studio mode, and then game. Let's see if I can quickly maneuver around while we're live. I appreciate all of you guys hanging in today. Let's see, properties. Change this one to University of Toronto. Okay. Resize that quickly for you. Oh, that's not the button. This is the button. So thank you everyone who stopped in thus far. It's definitely going to be one of the best matches of the week if you are watching this week 4 of the Tespa Collegiate series. Of course, both teams at 5-1 record. Each matchup really does mean so much to them. As this is loading in, let me go ahead and finish what I'm working on here and swap you over. Boop, almost there, I promise. Okay, that should be good. We will lock that in place as well and head on into the draft. There we go. Draft is live. Welcome to Cursed Hollow. On the left-hand side, we have University of Toronto. The Varsity Blues are first to ban in this matchup. This is the map selection of Texas A&M, the Maroon 5, bringing us to Cursed Hollow. Diablo going to be your first ban of this matchup. And let me pull out my trusty casting notebook to keep track of all these bans for you. Knight Abathur, the first ban here by Texas A&M. So obviously 2 heroes that have been dominant in this meta, especially Abathur on Cursed Hollow can get so much value. I don't know too much about University of Toronto, but I know a decent bit about Texas A&M and what they've played in the past. Nexus Gaming Series, of course, where you might know me from, where you might know these guys from Texas A&M from. They have a tendency to run very high skill cap heroes, and the compositions they put together are often ones that you see from some of our highest level teams here in Heroes of the Storm. So I'm expecting to see some fireworks out of them today. The captain, Hello, aka Coca-Cola, Space Bacon, Mizono, the whole crew, they're here ready to go, ripping it out in week number 4 of this collegiate series. Tahaka, the final ban after we saw Maev banned away, leaving open the Genji for University of Toronto as their first selection here on Cursed Hollow. All right, so we'll see how Texas A&M wants to respond. Of course, Genji, one of the strongest dive heroes in the game. Swift Strike, resets. If he wants to go into that Dragon Blade, will it be possible? Will he have enough supporting from whatever direction University of Toronto wants to go with that support. So here we go. Hanzo is available, the other Shimada, and this is one of Hanzo's greatest maps, if not his best. His ability to clear out the bosses on this map, and picks are flying in. We see Jaina, Muradin, but Hanzo's ability to just rip through those bosses here on Cursed Hollow will be great for Texas A&M moving forward here. The Jaina and the Muradin. Muradin, of course, giving them that extra dive capabilities. Able to Dwarf Toss in, get the stuns, lock him inside a Blizzard from Jaina, along with that diving Genji. This is looking pretty deadly so far for University of Toronto. Whitemane is the ban for Texas A&M, leaving the final ban of the match for University of Toronto. They're going to go ahead and decide on Johanna. So now we see all 6 bans. They're locked in. Texas A&M back on the clock, 20 seconds for those picks. They still need a solo laner. They still need a tank and some sort of damage to pair up with this Hanzo. See if they want to flex it a bit, potentially going into something a bit more obscure, a double support. A lot of options here. Instead, they're going to go with the Rainer, the Yrel. Keep it kind of standard. Not wanting to bring out too much too soon in this matchup. Yrel, so dominant in the solo lane. Rainer has been tremendous over the past couple months in that ranged assassin role. Pairing up with the Hanzo and a Tyrande. This is a pretty squishy backline for Texas A&M up against that Genji. Will it be too soft? Are these HP pools not large enough to deal with the Genji getting in on that backline? Varian, Rhaegar, the final 2 selections for Toronto. And now you see all 5 here for Toronto, and the Varsity Blues are looking pretty strong. Arthas will be the main tank here for Texas A&M. Will Sparky be able to slow down a lot of what Varian potentially wants to do getting in there? Twin Blades is an option. Does it make sense in this comp? I'd expect to see the Colossal Smash. The taunt, not as much. Personally, I don't know if they're going to go into that taunt, but we will find out. But before we proceed, I want to give you guys at home the option to let me know what you think. Who do you think will win this matchup? Who you here rooting for? If you want to vote for University of Toronto, hashtag UOT in chat. If your vote is for Texas A&M, hashtag TAMU in chat. Man, I'm the caster for Texas A&M. I think if they can control the macro, if they can get those bosses out with Hanzo, with Edgardo GL on one of his strongest heroes, they should be looking good. But it's very dependent on how those bosses go, and if University of Toronto can get in there and deal with it, we will find out. But here we are, game number 1. It is Cursed Hollow, and of course I didn't put on my overlay because we're on the tournament realm. Yikers in chat if you are here. But nonetheless, on the left-hand side, we got University of Toronto blank on the Muradin, keep 6 on the Rhaegar. We have Saber playing Jaina, Ember on Genji, and down in this bottom lane, it's Fresh on the Varian. Over on the right-hand side, we have Texas A&M, the Maroon 5. Mizono playing on the Yrel. Sparky on Arthas. Hello playing the Rainer. We got Space Bacon on Tyrande, and rounding it out on the Hanzo, playing one of his favorite heroes, it's Edgardo GL. Alright, so again, I really apologize for the overlay situation. I'll get that fixed up for game number 2, but here we do see the talents on your screen right now. They're also at the top of your screen because of this overlay, but we'll keep an eye on this. So far, Varian up top. We got Rhaegar kind of chilling in the bottom mid lane. It's 4 members from Texas A&M here right now. Yrel showing up on this bottom lane as Genji is going to steal away that vision on the top side of your map. You can see there, that's Ember. But Mizono should have no trouble up against a Rhaegar. We're going to need to see this Genji come down to provide some sort of response, as the rest of Texas A&M is saying, hey, let's get that vision back, make sure we're not under trouble with our siege camp nearby that they're going to want to take shortly. We do see that first tribute will be spawning in this bottom lane. So I'd expect to see Texas A&M go for those siege giants a bit early in this matchup, as they won't be able to push during that first tribute. We'll see who they want to send over. I'd imagine it's Edgardo, and yeah, he's on his way there right now. Edgardo should be able to rip through that with ease. Let's check out our matchup up top. It's Hello up against Fresh. The variant, of course, still not a hero until level 4. And Raynor should have his way for the time being, but he's trying to let some of these minions push a bit closer to his wall. Not quite going to get there, so they'll clash back at the middle. Looking back here, Hanzo, Arthas, they're getting through those giants. On the left-hand side, we see Bruisers being worked on by Jaina and Rhaegar. Saber falling pretty low, but of course has that supporting there of the Rhaegar. He should be able to survive just fine. Hanzo now moving over to Bruisers himself. Space Bacon going to join in on this party. Bottom lane, Mizono up against Ember, 2 NGS players that have been a part of that community for quite some time. Mizono's here and ready to rip on the Yrel. Up against a Genji, it's not a matchup Yrel can necessarily get in and like kill a Genji. The Genji's certainly not going to kill Yrel, so it's just going to be stalemated a bit. But with these giants here, it's actually pretty tough for Genji to have to deal with, so expect some push. As they are approaching the wall, and they're going to start throwing those stones over at these towers. Ember's trying to slash in, but again, it's going to be very tough, especially if Mizono wants to get in and block some of these shuriken that are coming by. But so far, Ember kind of getting their way and able to deal with that for the time being. Mid lane, Bruisers are clashing at the red wall, and with it so easy to clear out for Texas A&M, their Bruiser camp will be healthy, will be pushing forward during this first tribute. 18 seconds until it's on your map. Bottom lane, Yrel already there. Up top, Varian and Raynor still have not started their venture down here. See if Raynor needs to stay to deal with that siege camp, which is perfectly timed out by University of Toronto. But 4 members of Texas A&M, they're here scouting out that top push with that Sonic Arrow. Yrel's going to be there to disrupt the Rhaegar walking by, but with Varian showing up, Raynor is still top. Texas A&M in a horrible spot in terms of gathering this tribute. Enough delay here from Blank on that Murd, and Ember jumping in now on top of Toronto. There's a big Lunar Flare. Not enough to really get any follow-up damage, just the Hanzo for now. He's in that Scatter Arrow build, but waiting to get the level 7 talent to really come online with it. They're going to try to delay as long as possible with Yrel soaking mid, Raynor up top, but first blood of the game. It's going to be handed over to University of Toronto. Keep 6 also picking up that tribute, so 1 out of 3 so far for UOT. The Varsity Blues with a ever so slight experience advantage right now, picking up that first tribute, the first blood. They're feeling good right now as no camps available on the map. Boss is spawning in just about 1 minute. Raynor has been up top this whole time. Had to deal with those siege giants, and really good timing from University of Toronto led to that advantage on the first tribute. With the next tribute spawning in a position over here that is well in the favor of University of Toronto. You see them playing patiently around this location, making sure no one's going to walk in here. They want to set up their position control before that tribute spawns up. Yrel in trouble. Keep 6 and Blank jumping on top of Mizono, but that's Yrel. She's safe behind the wall. Saber's here with that Blizzard, clearing out that wave. Now Yrel has a fat amount of minions here to clear out, as tribute number 2 will be spawning in about 15 seconds. We see all 10 heroes making their way over. Sparky already here trying to control the big bush. Blizzard coming down as well. He's still healthy. But with this tribute here, it's a very great defensive spot for University of Toronto. Holding this bush is so important as well. That Howling Blast gonna miss from Sparky. Here comes a Colossal Smash from Fresh Mizono, below half health. He's on that Yrel. Blizzard not really connecting on too much. And first to fall in this fight's Varian. Second to fall, a double kill. Muradin's down. Big Howling Blast connecting onto Genji. Ember has to scoot away with that cyber agility, and now it's 1 apiece on these tributes. A great steal away there by Texas A&M. They pick up a half-level lead. Bosses have spawned on the map, but not opting to try to take away the one on the side of University of Toronto was Texas A&M. They're going to stay down here in this bottom lane. Siege Giant still in tow. Rhaegar falling low. Keep 6 in trouble with Space Bacon there. That's going to be a kill. Edgardo GL and Sparky helping finish that off. Outstanding jump there onto the Rhaegar. I don't know if Keep 6 recognized that there were so many heroes from Texas A&M in position for that fight. So Rhaegar down for at least another 5 seconds. Tribute spawning in about 12 seconds. Hello already up here trying to grab this away. Shout out to Skyarch Hots in chat with the easy clap smash. What's going on, my man? If you guys don't know Skyarch, he is a member of Team SkyArch, the captain, of course, and he's my graphic editor. If you want to check out my brand new emote, Tier 2 emote, Murdar Go. It's the greatest thing that's happened since sliced bread. I'll try to throw one down in a couple minutes so you catch it with the stream delay. But there we go. Tribute easily gathered by Texas A&M. They're going to work on their bruiser camp, and now they are on Curse Point. When this next one spawns, University of Toronto will have to ensure they pick it up for themselves, because one more tribute means a curse. For the side of Texas A&M, and the Maroon 5 are feeling good. They're going to go ahead and get started on their boss with level 10 talents. We do see Rainer's Raider, Starfall. We have the Dragon Arrow. We have Army of the Dead and Ardent Defender. Very meta pickups here, and speaking of pickups, this boss will be picked up with ease like butter. Pushing top lane, tribute spawning on the bottom side. Texas A&M going to make that rotation. Still have bruisers at mid as well. Jaina trying to clear him out. That Saber. See if this Howling Blast is going to connect. It doesn't. So Saber back behind the wall, but with the bruiser camp still here. Up top, Genji working on this boss. The Siege Giants will stop their targeting on the boss, so it's going to push. And remember, Curse Point, Texas A&M picks this up. They're looking good. Big stun on Keep 6. He's safe, though. Back behind the wall. Howling Blast also going to miss. Genji's still mid. Tribute spawning in 5. Here comes University of Toronto trying to make whatever sort of delay is humanly possible. They have a siege camp still pushing top, which is getting just about as much value as that boss is up top as well, because there's no minions ripping through the siege camp yet. They're just now showing up. So either team defending should have a little bit of advantage if they can win this tribute. Ember on that Genji, very low, has a swift strike over the wall, uses a well tap. Here comes Mizono, big stun on Varian. He's got the protect, but the jump in on top, and Mizono gonna pick up the first kill of the fight. Keep 6 on the backside, all by himself, and Gardo should be able to finish this off with a scatter arrow. Does he have it? Yes, he does. A double kill for Texas A&M, and with this boss right nearby and Hanzo in the scatter arrow build, they're gonna go for it. They got the curse, didn't decide to hold it. Mizono gonna stay in this bottom lane, make sure Murden's not walking up. Saber's nearby, but this is boss number 2, and as I mentioned in the draft, this is a composition with a Hanzo that's able to rip through these bosses so quick, and now this is Murden in big trouble. Hanzo is going to chase him, but his team's saying, nah, just let him go. Let's push with this boss. We can get onto this keep quickly. Goku in chat, I apologize for the UI. I switched over to the tournament realm. Forgot to change my UI. I will make sure that is set up for match number 2. I'll get you with the Aliobs. That is my fault. I have not casted on this tournament realm. Technically never on my channel. I've done some Heroes HGC Open here on the tournament realm, but my apologies for that, as Texas A&M is marching onto this keep. Boss still very healthy, half health on this keep. It will be going down, and with level 13 talents, Texas A&M, they're not afraid to fight in this situation either. See if they want to stay in. Boss now going to push on to the core, as Texas A&M is going to escape. Fresh is here. He's all by himself. Howling Blast should be available. Connects. Lunar Blaze not going to connect, though, but Fresh still falls. Ember could be next on that. Genji gets the Ancestral Heal. Will be able to get back. Mizono and Sparky in that Blizzard. They're falling low on health, but they're going to be able to get out of this situation, and they're going to stay on this bruiser camp as well. Surprise, this Water Elemental didn't even target anyone. It was sitting nearby. As we check on the core, it is going to take some damage, 80% health. 77 is the final tally, as that boss gets cleared up. But with bruiser camp at mid, Texas A&M with that Talontier advantage, putting their metal forward onto this keep wall. It's down. Bruiser Camp's still alive, and that's likely all they're going to get here, but they still have that Shaman in the middle, the Mage of this Bruiser Camp, giving them that spell armor. They're staying inside as long as they can, finally deciding to back up, now level 15 and a quarter for Texas A&M. They can still turn this around, still have the 13 talent here over their opponents. As I'll peek in on these talents, you can see how some of these stacks are going. 8 on Lunar Blaze. 19 on Fingers of Frost at level 1 for Jaina. But macro control has been heavily in favor of Texas A&M throughout this match. It's exactly the key to the game to win this, and so far so good for them as they pick up a siege camp. They're working on their bruiser camp as well. Sparky and Hello already on it. See if Murden wants to get in here. Blank, he's trying to come for something. They know something's going on here. that Owl's going to scout out where Muradin was, and that is all that's going to happen on that advance from him. Now he's the one in trouble. Still no 16s for Texas A&M, but instead they're just going to continue pushing in. There's that Lunar Flare hitting Muradin. Bottom side split now is Saber. Big Howling Blast on 2. They're taking this fight inside. Ancestral Heal, huge. On top of Genji with that Dragon Blade on this backline. His brother, Edgardo GL, he's about to fall, but Ember also very low. Now the scatter arrows coming out. Ember trying to finish off Hanzo, but is not able to. Genji falls first in the fight. Fresh is next to go. A double kill for Texas A&M. Blank getting locked in by that Howling Blast. Slowed down. The Dwarf Toss was right next to where he wanted to go and didn't make it out. So a triple kill for Texas A&M. They have a siege camp in the bottom lane. Rhaegar is going to play keep away on that. Keep 6 is the hero there. Mid lane, Bruiser's marching once again in. Muradin still down for 15 seconds. So this push should be enough to get this keep down. We'll see what they can do. Rainer's Raider just respawning, and this keep is melting. Below 50% health, 25% health, 10. See ya later. Keep number 2 in favor of Texas A&M. Tributes sitting currently at 1 apiece. Level 16s are online for the Maroon 5 as they're marching up top towards a boss. We'll see what they want to do. No, they're going to bait it out, sitting in this bush. Yrel in the little cubby hole. See if Mizono wants to jump right on this backside. They should. I don't know if they do see him. Now they see him. Genji here. And yeah, look at this. Arthas walking on the Jaina, but on the backside, it's Ember taking care of Edgardo GL. There's a Dragon's Arrow, and a little bit of a split focus cost the Hanzo's death. Army of the Dead coming out from Arthas. Falling low is Fresh on that Varian. He's in a horrible spot with that Starfall right on top of him. Blank could be next. Stasis in the ice block right now, but Muradin with the Avatar popping, trying to save Jaina. Not able to. Ember ripping off that Dragon's Blade. Space Bacon low, getting some armor, will survive. Now turning it on Genji, turning it on Muradin. Muradin falls. Ember still here, trying to get a kill, and it ends up being a mega kill for Texas A&M. Pick up all 5 on the side of University of Toronto. Core is taking damage right now. There's a catapult, 3 of them actually. 2 are already locked onto the core, so it's fallen at 63%. Fresh just spawning. We'll try to clear these out. And mid lane, we do see 2 catapults approaching as well. Boss just grabbed up top by Texas A&M. Tribute on the map. It'll be Mizono responsible for getting that. The rest of Texas A&M marching down to the other boss. So they're trying to put University of Toronto in a checkmate situation right now. Which I don't know how they respond. 37% on that core. It's going to be very tough for Toronto to make a defense with that little bit of shielding, that little bit of health on the core. Easily picked up once again, having that Hanzo. Boss number 4 for Texas A&M, and they're just going to march it down bottom lane and try to win it right here. Still no level 16s for the Varsity Blues, as the Maroon 5 has looked dominant in this affair. They lost that first blood, but ever since, it is 14-1. Total 14-2 in kills. Army of the Dead on this core. Varian stuck inside, getting stunned out there by Yrel. Boss almost there, but not quite. Hello falling low on the Rainer. Inside that Starfall, getting a lot of healing from the Tyrande, but not enough. The Army of the Dead, the Yrel, and that Rainer's Raider were enough to get the core down. The boss didn't even have to make it. So that's it for game number 1, and it's the Maroon 5 picking up the tally mark. So I'll go ahead and put that on the scoreboard for you, but here we go. Take a look at our match summary. And the kills came out in droves, including a mega kill for Texas A&M, 5 for Arthas, 5 for Rainer. Big damage from Hanzo as well in those fights. Just a lot of heroes here for Texas A&M that they're very comfortable on, and you can see that they played them to their full extent, especially the Hanzo. Able to get all 4 of those bosses was huge for them. Here's a look at your talents. You know, anytime you have your Rainer able to get that much damage out, the slowing provided by Arthas, of course, helping him with his ace in the hole at level 1. Just easy money in the bank there for Texas A&M. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short 5-minute break as we set up map number 2. I'm going to fix the UI problem that we had in that matchup. I do appreciate Goku, the kind words in chat. You love my enthusiasm. I appreciate you for stopping in. Appreciate the kind words. But we will be back in 5 minutes. This is University of Toronto versus Texas A&M. All right, ladies and gents, we are back. It was a shorter break than I wanted. These teams are eager to jump right back in. So we are going to Battlefield of Eternity for map number 2. This is the map selection of Texas A&M once again. First pick was wanted there by University of Toronto. Varsity Blues, they need to find a way to establish map control here in map 2, because game number 1 was so heavily dominated by the map control of Texas A&M University. And I talked pregame once again. I mentioned it during the game as well, that as long as Texas A&M could control that macro play, get those bosses, control all the camps, it's gonna be pretty tough to keep up with it on a map like Cursed Hollow, so big, where those rotations and having to dedicate heroes to lanes made it almost impossible. Having that Genji, having that Varian, who aren't your strongest wave clearers in the game, really had to rely a lot on the Jaina to be able to do that, but that's also their main source of damage in team fights. And as soon as all that pressure came out, you could just tell how the map was going to finish out, and that's exactly what ended up happening in favor of Texas A&M. We are Let me just make sure they know I'm ready. I'm going to throw an R out there for them. But as long as we see that continue here for map number 2, I'd expect more of the same. Will they try to take away the Hanzo on a map like Battlefield of Eternity? He's just as strong. His Immortal Race is almost second to none to any hero in the game. So I'd expect a bit more focus during the ban phase onto Edgardo GL's Hanzo. And then on the side of University of Toronto, not really any heroes that I would love to see on their team. I like the Rhaegar on this map, but with other supports being more dominant recently, it's kind of tough for me to throw my full support behind a Rhaegar as your main support here in this meta. But on a map like Battlefield of Eternity, his shield can get some value, can help in the wave clear. Rhaegar, of course, can take some of those camps by himself. Here we are heading into the draft. It is Battlefield of Eternity, as mentioned. But we'll see. Someone has to control the objective phase. Hanzo, hopefully, if you're University of Toronto, that's identified as the piece you need to take away from Texas A&M. We'll see what they can do here. First ban of the map does belong to University of Toronto Varsity Blues. We saw them ban out the Diablo, Maiev, and Johanna in game number 1. See if they want to keep it on the Lord of Terror here at their first choice. 20 seconds for them to make that decision. The Captain Fresh is locking in the ban on Maiev. So this is a hero they decided to ban out, map number 1. They're going to go with it again here on Battlefield of Eternity. Now Texas A&M on the clock. And in map number 1, we saw the Abathur, Dahaka, and Whitemane bans. Do we see Abathur banned out again here? It could make sense. They're going to go ahead and ban out their own Hanzo. So they're going to try to rip a different page out of their book. Hanzo eliminated, and with first pick for University of Toronto, maybe a wise ban for them. Ban number 2 now. For the side of University of Toronto, the Varsity Blues. Are they wanting to get rid of that Diablo again? Get rid of that Johanna again? They're going to go ahead and decide on the Genji, so taking themselves away a Shimada that they themselves played in game number 1 as well. So both of them are off the board. They both played a pivotal role over on Cursed Hollow here on Battlefield of Eternity. Will not be making an appearance. Final ban of the top half belongs to Texas A&M. 5 seconds for this choice. Banned out the Dahaka, the Whitemane, the Abathur in game number 1. This time they're going to look at Diablo, who also saw a ban in game number 1, but it was Toronto making that ban out. So Lord of Terror not going to be here on Battlefield of Eternity, a Diablo map named after Diablo. So we'll see. Are there any other heroes that are dominant right now? I believe we're on the Kerrigan Brightwing release patch, not the latest rework. So Kerrigan potentially an option. It's going to be Yrel, though, the first pick for University of Toronto. So Yrel trading sides. Mizono played it in game number 1. Now picks 1 and 2 for Texas A&M on the clock. They were in that Tyrande, Hanzo, Raynor, Yrel, Arthas comp. I would not be surprised to see Tyrande picked up for Space Bacon here. Edgardo GL dropping the follow. Appreciate that. And there it is, the Tyrande, just as I expected. Muradin going to be taken away. Used for themselves here by Texas A&M as their number 2 pick. Muradin. So I love Muradin, of course, right now. He's just so hard to kill. You get him low, but he's got his Dwarf Toss. Tremendous range, able to get out of any fight. Whitemane Johanna, the selections here for Toronto. But Muradin's just nearly impossible to kill. You need the lockdown. You need to interrupt that Dwarf Toss to really have much of a chance to get it. Johanna could be an option that Condemn can keep him locked in if it connects while that Dwarf Toss is going out. The Yrel, her slap could also do it. Whitemane's leash later on in her kit could get the job done as well. Li Ming banned out here by Texas A&M. But we'll see what else Toronto can bring out here and if they can get some control on the Muradin, because he's just going to try to sit in there as long as possible. Sparky played so well map number 1 on the Arthas. Plenty of follow-up and actually just engage from his Howling Blast on the Arthas was really out of control at points. Helped secure that mega kill in the top lane by their boss, which really just ended the game. Malthael, the final ban for University of Toronto. All 6 bans now in the books as Texas A&M back on the clock with their 3-4 picks, already having their support and their tank. They're looking to find a solo laner and some damage. They go ahead and get the Jaina and the Greymane. Greymane, of course, his working for him, one of the best ways to clear out the Immortals and get that race in. But Jaina, a little bit different of a role here on Battlefield of Eternity. With the Li Ming taken away, she kind of does fall into that next most important mage on this map, in my opinion. Will the Blizzard be enough to help the race potential with the Greymane there? We'll see. Will Greymane play a solo lane? That's also another question. We do see Cassia and Mephisto, the final 2 picks here for University of Toronto. So they have some blinds available for Greymane. Mephisto, of course, his finishing skills are unmatched by most heroes. And then we see this final selection will be Blaze, Mizono's specialty here, to play the solo lane up against Yrel. The bunker will be able to help, especially up against the Cursed Souls from Mephisto. We'll see how well Mizono can pull that off and the protection it can provide to his team. But what a great counter in form of that bunker that Blaze will have opportunity to use. And if some of the plays I've seen Mizono make up against like a Lightning Breath Purification Salvo combination, I'm sure it's going to be equally as impressive up against this Mephisto. We'll see what can happen. But this is actually going to be a role swap. We see Keep 6 going over to Mephisto, and Ember will be playing the Whitemane. So a new support this time for University of Toronto. And I don't know how that's going to pay off for him, but we'll see. Ember must be saying she's got the specialty down on Whitemane. Let's cross our fingers and hope that this UI change came in. Looks like it did. Welcome back to normal life, Twitch. Here we are in map number 2. It's Battlefield of Eternity. And on the left-hand side, in the blue, we got the Varsity Blues from University of Toronto. Ember going to be playing the Whitemane. Keep 6 on Mephisto. Blank playing the Johanna. Saber on Cassia. And up in the top lane, playing the Fruity Pebbles Yrel. It's fresh. Over on the right-hand side, we got Texas A&M University, the Maroon 5. Edgardo GL on the Greymane. We see Hello playing the Jaina. We got Space Bacon once again on Tyrande. Sparky on Muradin, and rounding it out on his specialty, playing the Blaze, it's Mizono. Level 1 talents on your screen right now. Of course, it's going to be Murad's Insight for Yrel. Why wouldn't it be? Mephisto, these are talents you guys love to talk about. Right now, we're going to be seeing the unyielding power from Mephisto and Clemency from Whitemane. See how that does. A little bit of extra out of combat healing as Texas A&M is in this top lane, ready to push in. They have a Greymane. They have a Jaina. The only thing in defense right now is Yrel, and this tower is going to get blasted open. Ember on the Whitemane coming up. The rest of University of Toronto also making this rotation, but Texas A&M, they're going to be able to get out of here. Just Sparky staying in the lane, and of course we talked about during draft how evasive Muradin can be, able to just hop out of any sort of conflict. So a great trade there, picking up that tower early and able to leave the Blaze in the bottom lane, now up against Yrel, who rotated down as fresh. But able to get that early jump with basically playing the off lane with their 4-man stack, caught University of Toronto off guard and gives them that little bit of an early advantage. Rotation coming out of Greymane. We'll see if Edgardo GL wants to work on possibly this Khazra camp in the bottom. See if he shows here to Yrel. So far not. Going to use a well tap and try to clear this wave / lane. I almost call it a Wayne. There he goes. He is going to work on this siege camp. Fresh going to scout it. And does see that Greymane's on there. Up top, the other camp also being looked at, and this macro dominance from Texas A&M doesn't appear to be stopping, so they're going to go ahead and work on the top side. Just Mephisto and Johanna here in defense. Here comes Whitemane once again making the trip from top to bottom, but being too late this time is Ember. So first camp of the game belongs to Texas A&M University. Already have some work done on this top lane. Camp's now in tow. They're going to try to get even more structure damage onto this top wall. And just look at Whitemane. Oh, sorry. I totally missed his kill down here. Great engagement from Cassia and Urel. Mizono also in trouble. Has that jet propulsion. Will be safe. But they found a kill on Greymane. Up top now. Damage coming out onto Mephisto. That lunar flare just a little bit too early. Trying to lock in Mephisto after he's coming back from that shade of Mephisto there. So he survives. The wall survives. Immortal number 1 spawning in just about 15 seconds. Texas A&M jumping on their bruiser camp. Other side we see Toronto making a move there, but they're going to be a little bit late. Now 8 seconds before this Immortal spawns. Bruiser camp just being finished up by Edgardo GL, and Space Bacon, they get it. 2 seconds until the Immortal spawn. There they are. And Texas A&M making this rotation down. Edgardo GL on that Greymane. Tremendous amount of damage he can put on this, waiting for Muradin to show up to provide some defense. Hello here, also throwing a Blizzard. Keep 6, falling low. Shade and Mephisto bringing him back to safe positioning. Edgardo being locked in. Edgardo first to fall in this fight again, his second death of the game. And University of Toronto looking hot so far. Early start for them, getting 2 kills, have that XP advantage. Should be able to push the halftime first. As Greymane still down for another 2 seconds. You see this bottom lane. The Bruiser camp was here. The Kaiser camp was here. They're going to clear that out. The Shaman being worked on by Mizono. But still trying to get some damage out in combination with Sparky and Hello. Space Bacon also using that Hunter's Mark on the Immortal to provide that little bit of extra damage. Mizono looking for a stun, not finding it. As Mephisto's here on relatively low mana, pushing forward along with his team, but now with Greymane respawned, Cassie is up top on that Immortal. This is a 5v4 fight, potentially, if Texas A&M wants to take it, but Sparky falling too low, has to jump out. Jet Propulsion locking in 2. Lunar Flare on top, keep 6 with 200 health. Is gonna be able to get out of that mess somehow. Barely keeping himself alive. Texas A&M was looking for that kill, didn't end up getting it. Now finding themselves behind in this Immortal race. I got them both on your screen so you can watch these health bars. Both teams trying to take the race, but Texas A&M with the stronger comp, with that Hunter's Mark, with that Greymane, are looking like they should be able to get it, and they will. Texas A&M pick up the first Immortal in this match. Get the globes to get a little bit of mana back, especially on Mizono, who's down to 25%. He's going to have that top lane on lock once again up against Urel. So we're going to keep eyes on this bottom lane as the Immortal will be pushing. Fat minion here, minion wave here as well. Keep 6 looking to get in and out with that Shade of Mephisto, using that Lightning Nova. Immortal now on the wall, working on the top side, got the side wall down, is Texas A&M. First tower down as well. Second tower is still pretty healthy as the Immortal pushes forward onto the fort. Blank playing that Johanna. Had the Hunter's Mark on top, but not enough follow-up there from Texas A&M. They just want to get the rest of those towers down. They do. And make a disengagement without losing any heroes. Keep 6 trying to change that, but not quite able to. With his Mephisto, both teams now on even talents at level 7. It will be Wizened Duelist for Greymane. See if he can keep his stacks, but already falling twice in this match is Edgardo GL, who played an MVP-worthy Hanzo in game number 1. Looking to keep himself alive here on Battlefield of Eternity. See if he can change that with that level 7 talent, because those stacks are going to be paramount to the success of Texas A&M here. Up against a pretty devastating composition that has the lockdown kill potential for University of Toronto. If Mephisto is able to get that Cursed Souls out after the bunker's been played, or in a position where some of these heroes for Texas A&M can't get nearby, you could actually expect Mephisto to see some kills, but you got to find a way to get rid of this Blaze. Get him out of a position that he's able to cast that bunker in the spot that's going to play well for all the heroes of Texas A&M, and really take advantage of the fact that they want to stack nearby that Blaze. Can they find some extra damage on the rest of the heroes, knowing that Blaze is going to be trying to support the rest of his team with that bunker. We'll find out. Top 4 took a good chunk of damage there with that Khazar camp grab by Texas A&M. They're not going to rotate onto their Bruisers. Other side, we see the Bruisers spawning in 3, so they're going to get a very late start if they want to gather that. Edgardo, GL, Space Bacon, Sparky here on the Shaman camp for Texas A&M. They're going to be able to get it. Immortal nearby, already starting on, is going to be Jaina and Muradin. Opposite side, Bruiser's not going to be played. So Immortal race should be about even, but Bruiser's pushing top means that Fort will be under pressure. These should push just about equal at halftime. It does go, however, in favor of Texas A&M just by, in favor of University of Toronto by about 420 health points. Yeah, you heard it here first, 420. But here we go. Halftime pushed. Team's even. Bruiser camp up top has to be responded to. It looks like Fresh will walk up there once he's showing in lane. Here comes Sparky. He sees it. Trying to find whatever he can. A big stun setup. Not anything there yet. Just getting the damage on top of this Immortal. Condemn pushing forward onto this 4-man stack. Mizono nearby. Has the Pyromania active as well. Damage coming in. Looking for that Consumed Soul soon. Will be Mephisto. Bunker should be dropped almost any minute. But the Consumed Souls never needed to be played. They don't even have level 10s. I'm sorry. I'm not even looking at what level it is. So Bunker wasn't available. Consumed Souls wasn't available. And that's just Keep 6 bringing out the damage on Mephisto. They end up losing their top fort. But when you get that double kill during this Immortal phase, and now you can rotate down onto the red Immortal, this should be picked up. Just Space Bacon and Sparky here trying to finish off the blue Immortal. But University of Toronto, they're fine just leaving Cassie here, finishing it off. Blaze gonna play harassment for now. Rest of the team gonna show up. Mizono gonna back on out. But a huge pickup. We'll see if Edgardo, GL, and the rest of the team want to find a kill here, as this Immortal is going to be gathered up with that Water Elemental finishing it. But here comes the damage. Bunker being played. It's out early. Consumed Souls is an option after this bunker expires. There it is. Edgardo. He's down yet again. 4 deaths in the game. And these Wizen Duelist stacks now all the way down to 2. University of Toronto up 5-0 in the kill department. Outstanding so far for them. Immortal pushing top lane means defense has to come out from Jaina, Tyrande, and Muradin. Hunter's Mark on top will get rid of the shielding. Now walking into the melee range is this Immortal. Falling almost to 50% health now is that Immortal. Sparky trying to hold the front line on Muradin. Here comes Keep 6 trying to get damage on Jaina. Shady Mephisto back to the back line. Big double stun there, but no follow-up available for Texas A&M as we're equal on XP. Structural lead right now for Texas A&M. Bottom lane, Urel versus Blaze, still a thing. But this top side, Sparky staying deep. Lunar Flare connecting onto Mephisto. Great cleanse by Whitemane, keeping Keep 6 alive. But a structural advantage is going to play a part in this game, with Texas A&M manhandling the macro game, getting another one of these camps out. That Bruiser camp was never played during the Immortal phase by University of Toronto. They're going to hold on to it for now. Blaze keeping an eye on this bottom Khazar camp, throwing out an oil slick, making sure no one's there. This is a spot where they were in trouble last time. Mizono staying nearby, but has to wait for his team to show up before he can make an engagement. Here comes that rotation from Texas A&M. They're going to try to get in here. It's scouted. Mizono knows they're there. There's Jet Propulsion walking in with Pyromania, and a successful steal by Blaze & Co. They grab that Khazar camp out from under the noses of University of Toronto. Now going to push forward, and a great opportunity to finish off this fort. Get rid of this well. Urel, she's up top dealing with that Khazar camp. This fort will fall before the Khazars even really show up to it. Keep 6 trying to spread some of that Lightning Nova damage. Great stun, but an instant cleanse from Ember. Now damage jumping out on top of Urel. Ball of Lightning hitting 4. Here comes that bunker, but not enough to keep anyone alive. Consumed Souls again will kill Edgardo, GL. Sparky in and out of the bunker. They're trying to get the damage out with those flares, the flames, but Sparky's gonna fall. Mizono trying to escape. Hello and Blaze, the only 2 alive, as the Immortals are spawning again. It is 8-0 in favor of University of Toronto in a match that Texas A&M is leading in terms of structural damage, in terms of macro pressure. The kill department, the team fight, just dominated so far by University of Toronto with this Immortal phase active. Halftime being worked on. Here comes Urel jumping onto the point and able to steal it away with that big slap. Now Mizono's low. Might not be able to escape and doesn't. Urel gonna finish the job on Mizono. He falls. The 9th kill of the game for University of Toronto. They steal away the Bruiser camp. They're gonna push the halftime phase right now and are well on their way to getting their second Immortal of the game. The first one not getting too much value, but this second one certainly should. Level 13s are going to be matched here by Texas A&M. Those talents on your screen right now. But this shield is going to be a hell of a different story with no damage done to the blue Immortal yet. Here comes Sparky. They're trying to make a fight happen on top of this Immortal and just prevent it outright. Cleansed there by Whiteman again. They've been on point this entire match. Hello in a horrible spot playing that Jaina. Bunker going to be played. Ardent Defender, however, going to keep Urel alive, but first of all, it's going to be Johanna. Keep 6, also low on that Mephisto. He's down. A double kill. Saber down as well. It's a triple. Now looking at Urel, it's a quad kill. Ember, the only one alive, and Murden staying deep on this white main. Sparky trying to make it a mega kill. Space Bacon and Sparky going to go ahead and leave it. They know that they have to get this Immortal. They cannot afford to let anyone respawn and finish off what had already been started on the red Immortal. Look at this, sitting at about 20% health. They're going to be able to completely swing it with a tremendous fight. The quad kill coming out on top of their own Immortal. Texas A&M even going to go up top, start up this siege camp, and get that going as they grab their first Immortal of the game. We'll be pushing the bottom lane, so they'll have split pressure with this siege camp pushing up top as well. But their heroes, they're all up top, or they're back at base getting mana and health. Jaina just respawning, that's hello, is going to make the long walk back here on this bottom lane of Battlefield of Eternity. Immortal just spawning, but no engagement on top of it, so it will keep it shielding, will march it all the way to the wall, and Texas A&M, all 5 members here, Urel up top, 5v4 advantage with this Immortal. Will they be able to get the pressure they need on this wall to be able to push past it? We'll find out. Already starting on the tower and the sidewall is Edgardo GL. Big slam there by the Immortal. The walls are down. Second tower being worked on now. Blank already at 50% health on that Johanna. Cleanse being used on the Cassia from Ember. Immortal still alive, but only at 25% health. Looking to finish off the keep. It's very close, and here comes the engagement with Consumed Souls. Bunker down, keeping everyone alive. That is what we wanted to see out of Mizono. Great job by him, and now turning it on Whiteman. The support is down. That's a ball lightning doing some damage to the backline, but Edgardo GL getting a lot of damage out before he falls. Mizono's next. It's a double for University of Toronto. Now 3v3 in this fight. Hello, very low. Gets that Kona Cold root. Trying to escape. Space Bacon here has a Lunar Blaze, connects Blizzard down as well. Hello's here. Sparky not going to try to zone. Get Jaina and Toronto back to safety, and is actually going to get the Urel out of it as well. Johanna now in trouble as Texas A&M is turning this around. Lunar Flare connecting on top of Mephisto. He's down, and all 5 members of University of Toronto are waiting to respawn now as Texas A&M clears the board and will march onto this enemy Bruiser camp sitting wide open. And we have a pause. Bring you guys back to the caster bench. Welcome. Also, check out my brand new sweet ass Star Wars comic book t-shirt. Looking fresh with the Darth Vader with the Boba Fett up top. Lobby host can pause only. I do not have... I don't know. You have to request pause. Okay, so they cheated? I don't know. I'm not a rules guy. I'm just casting. I think the other team, University of Toronto, saying that you should ask for pauses instead of slapping pause. Either way, I don't see problem with slapping the pause, especially if it's not a team fight. But to recap right now, it was 8-0 in favor of University of Toronto, since it is 9-3 for kills in favor of Texas A&M, who just found their first keep of the game. They are ahead, level 17 to level 15, so they have that talent tier advantage. Heroics, still waiting for most of these heroes to come back online right now. But with that level 16 talent, that fight went well in the favor of Texas A&M. You saw them turn it. Pretty aggressive play from University of Toronto, trying to make that counter push back during the retreat of Texas A&M, but they found the kill with the stun lock. They had the Muradin, they had a Toronto, found the stun lock, got the kill onto the Urel, and then Johanna and Mephisto just became easy pickings. Turns out, attack of the killer puppy for hello. So I think he's ready to go. Should be back in shortly to this matchup. He's asking if they're ready. I will bring us back over to the game. But in a best of 3, and with the way this Battlefield of Eternity map is going, University of Toronto, on their last life, need to figure out a way to turn this around. Looks like both teams are ready. Here's the countdown, 3, 2, 1, and we're back in. So, Shaman Camp being invaded here by Texas A&M, and they'll be able to get that. Low on mana, though, are these 3 heroes we're looking at. See if they want to go back before the Immortal phase. But instead, they're going to keep the split push. They have that Shaman Camp bottom lane. They have a minion wave about to crash here up top. And they're going to try to finish off this tower, potentially get down the well, which I think is really the important part. Only 2 wells remain right now for University of Toronto. Jaina going to get the Blizzard on the wave. There goes the tower. And that is all Texas A&M wants, as the Immortal was just announced. They have their Bruiser Camp on the map, which they're likely going to go to yet again. See what Sparky wants to do here. Yeah, he certainly is bringing his team that way. University of Toronto here on the other side of the map. They don't have much to do. They can go get that Shaman, or excuse me, the Khazra Camp on the bottom side. Or just wait up here. They just got their level 16 talents. I'm going to throw those up for you so you can keep an eye on what's going on with those talents. But Immortal Phase number 3, we have split these so far 1 apiece, as the teams are splitting up 5v5 on these Immortals. And the race is heavily favoriting Texas A&M as they rip it through to halftime. They have about 4,000 or so, 4,500 HP advantage. Spawning on their side now. A horrible positioning from University of Toronto means an early jump trying to finish off this Immortal. Great Stormbolt locking on 2. Lunar Flare as well, hitting another 2. And they're able to back up. They have well taps available here if they want to take them, re-engage in the fight with that extra bit of health, extra bit of mana. Sending Cassia now over to the other Immortal. Once that starts ticking down in health, they'll know this is 5v4 here, and yeah, they see it. So here comes Sparky. He's in deep. Lunar Flare hitting 1. Keep on the backside, trying to zone out the backline, but this just absolute ranged poke pressure from Blaze, able to finish off that Immortal that was already pretty low on health. Lunar Flare hitting on top of Ember. Whitemane in trouble and getting deleted. The Ardent, the Aegis, the... What is that talent called? That doesn't matter. Cursed Souls will get some damage, but not enough. Everyone from Texas A&M still surviving. Divine Aegis is what I was trying to think of for Whitemane. Kept members alive momentarily and almost looked like he was going to swing that completely around. Almost a la like Sanctification in that fight. But it just wasn't quite enough. And now we find ourselves on even kills, 11 apiece for these teams. Immortal just now losing its shielding, walking into melee range. Sparky showing up. This will be keep number 2 down. 15 seconds for Urel, 5 more seconds till Whitemane's back up. Immortal still at 75% health. Texas A&M can look to push in on this core. Catapults in the bottom lane, got the shielding down. Here's the damage, unstoppable. Throwing out that cleanse was so great for Johanna. She survives, keep 6, might not have the same luck. Yes, he will. He's surviving. Now the damage once again, but the core took far too much. And game number 2 will be handed over to Texas A&M University. The Maroon 5 picking up the 2-0 win today over the University of Toronto. All right, so here's your match summary. What a tale of 2 halves here on Battlefield of Eternity. It started off so strong for UOT. The Varsity Blues were looking so solid, but it completely turned around in the second half. Once that fight happened on the bottom of Immortal 2, University of Toronto having such a big lead in the race, and Texas A&M knowing that this is the only possible shot they have at swinging it back around, took the fight under their own Immortal and found the kills. And from that moment on, it was Texas A&M for the win. Outstanding performance there on Battlefield of Eternity to bring that one back. Cassia, played by Saber, really was the player of the game for University of Toronto. The ball lightning, tremendous amount of damage on the backside. Found plenty of kills, 6 in total. Great bunker play by Mizono. At least on that one, survived through a lot of the damage from that Consume Souls. Yes. But yeah, having that blaze, it's a great tool to save against some of these heroics that are able to rip through multiple health bars like that. Purification Salvo, the Consume Souls, and having the bunker saves the day every single time. We're gonna have an interview right now. Looks like we're getting Space Bacon and Mizono, so hold on just 1 second for that. Here we go. Hey, gents, how's it going? Oh, do I have you guys up? Can you hear me? Oh, hey, now you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah.
Hey, sorry, I forgot I'm on Push to Talk today. How's it going?
No problem. It's going good.
It's good, man.
So, Texas A&M, the Maroon 5, looking solid so far in this collegiate series. Now moved to, I believe, 6-1 in the standings. That's definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Now, do the standings work per match or is it per map?
So we've actually been talking about this and trying to decipher this long, like mathematical thesis paper. We're pretty sure that it does include like a 2-1 is different than a 2-0. So I think this 2-0 puts us up pretty high because like it's a 2-0 also up against a really good team. So like it's super valuable, I guess.
So then your record is actually now going to be 7-1.
Oh no. That the 7-1. That's just for
It's sets. So
yeah, that's
we just
for
get
sets.
one.
Okay.
We just get one there.
Yeah, but
So
the 2-0 still matters a little bit.
The map wins go more into they have like an MMR rating here, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, either way, Texas A&M looking like a top 5 team that should put you, or at least keep you remaining in that number 4 seed as you just knocked off the number 5. And overall, outside of the first half of Battlefield of Eternity, it was a pretty dominant performance today.
Yeah. We played surprisingly well.
But let's talk a bit about Cursed Hollow first. A map selection by you guys. And you got Edgardo on his Hanzo. How does that feel, just knowing you have Hanzo on Cursed Hollow?
Pretty good because the curse doesn't do much on its own. Having boss race is really good. So we early on picked up Tyrande Hanzo, and we thought, okay, we have like boss race. We have unbeatable boss race.
Yeah, and Ed's Hanzo is pretty nutty. He's a really strong Hanzo. So anytime we have him, it's really nice. It definitely feels good.
Yeah, I was talking about during the draft. I was like, ooh, Hanzo, ooh, Edgardo GL. Like, oh, man, good luck. Like, Edgardo, good luck.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun getting to watch that. You guys took a ban on Abathur and Dahaka trying to take away more of that macro pressure. And really what it ended up doing, it gave you guys all the macro control. The whole map was red the whole match. Was that really a main focus going into Cursed Hollow, or was it just play it one step at a time?
Yeah, we like to play it really macro based. We like to stall at the early objectives and see what else we can get on the map. We had a little bit of trouble there. The Colossus Smash Varian actually kind of like we can't step up to stall because they just get to kill one person.
Yeah, we definitely had to adapt there because it's definitely if we engage, we have to engage into that, which is a little different than how we usually do it.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of what I took out of it as well. Arthas, played by Sparky today. I haven't seen you guys play the Arthas yet. Not since like the most recent metas have formed. Is this a hero you're trying to bring more and more in, or just wanted to be the counter there for something?
I think hero is definitely the counter. And in the past we've played him a few times, but definitely specifically to counter things. Like we play Arthas when we think Arthas is the right pick for that, not because he's like anything. Like he's not OP right now. He's got his niche and he fills it really well.
Yeah, and Sparky's just really mechanically sound with pretty much every hero he plays. So we trust him to pick tanks, and he can just kind of pick stuff up and play it really well.
So now we got to talk about this, because this is the point in the matchup tonight where it looked like you guys were certainly beatable. The first half of Battlefield of Eternity, you guys are down 8-0 in kills. But the part I want to talk about is the big turnaround during the second Immortal, where you guys saw yourselves down 95% to about 10% on that race, and you took the fight on the bottom Immortal, your side. How did you guys decide to make that move, and kind of what led to it, and how does it feel getting that big wipe out there?
It felt really good. A lot of that was on our tank. We had Muradin there. So we were able to once Muradin sees the target and can jump in and stun that. I think it was either the Cassia or the Whitemane, one of their kind of squishy backliners.
I think it was Whitemane. It was Whitemane, yeah, because they couldn't cleanse it because Whitemane was stunned.
Oh yeah. So we got it usually we had to kind of double engage and then get the cleanse and then engage again a few seconds later. But there we saw a pick.
Whitemane stepped up too far.
Yeah, we set it up and then we just followed up on it. And then from there the fight's pretty much won because they're down a healer.
Well, that was the moment of the game that swung it around. Ended up being 11-11 in kills, and obviously structural damage was, again, a big problem for University of Toronto. You guys were keeping those camps pushed out during the objective phases so effectively that even down 8-0 in kills, you guys still were in the XP game. You had the structural advantage and really just pushed that lead. Once you got that wipeout, it was very tough for Toronto to do anything from that point on. As for the map itself, Battlefield of Eternity, I know in the way past I've seen you guys try to bring teams to this map. Is it still one of your favorites to go to?
It's definitely not one of our current favorites. We don't dislike it. We were definitely Volskaya is one of our better maps right now, but they banned that one. So we actually had that discussion. This was a map that we were good on a while ago, so we decided to go back to it because we're definitely still comfortable on it. But it's currently not our sort of ideal number one map.
So Mizono, question for you. I saw the Blaze come out. I immediately was excited for you guys, knowing up against the Mephisto that consumes souls and the value the bunker can provide in that situation. A little bit of diciness on the first one. It seemed like it was just you had to throw it out, and they were able to time it a little bit better. But how are you trying to play around that, and kind of what's the mentality with your team knowing you have that ability every time?
Yeah, I mean, we pulled it out for the Mephisto. That bunker was meant for that, but I'm currently not on my setup. I'm at a LAN center out of town, so I'm very disoriented right now, kind of. It was just kind of trying to stay focused, and I was getting distracted and stuff. Definitely not my smoothest play, but it was designed for the Mephisto ult, but I definitely missed one of them, which nearly threw that second, I think the second really intense bunker. I pulled it out too early. So it wasn't a good example of it being efficient, but it was definitely the right pick by our drafter, for sure.
I got you. Shout out to that LAN center you're at. I'm sure it's a lot of fun hanging out with some like-minded individuals. Maybe you get a little crowd behind you while you're playing.
Yeah, I have a lot of kids playing Fortnite around me.
Nice. They just might as well just call it, instead of a LAN center, just a Fortnite center.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so guys, huge congratulations on the 2-0 tonight. You guys are marching up these standings, looking really good in this collegiate series. I'm not 100% familiar with how all the standings and stuff work heading into the main Heroes of the Dorm season, but if the results are any indication, you guys are doing a hella good job right now. So congratulations for that.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, man.
So before I let you go, though, I want to give you guys an opportunity for some shout outs. Mizono, you want to go first?
I want to shout out Hello. He is playing in a very weird situation on a dinner board or something. So we're the same right now. And I want to shout out our esports org and the people around me playing Overwatch and Fortnite.
All right, Space Bacon, you got anything?
I nothing real specific. Like you said, our org, we're really proud right now that like in Tespa, where it's just us against other colleges, where we can really show our stuff, and especially for like making our org look good. We're trying to do that, grow ourselves within the community here and within the community of all the collegiate scene.
Well, hopefully over here on twitch.tv/murderrg, if I'm casting more of these matches, we can help you do just that. Huge shout out once again to Mizono and Space Bacon for the interview. Congratulations to the Maroon 5 from Texas A&M for picking up the 2-0. Very valiant performance today from University of Toronto, the Varsity Blues. Fall a bit in the standings, but still looking very promising throughout this collegiate series, and are looking forward to their continued success here. But that's all we have for today. Shout out to all of you who stopped in Twitch chat. The follows from Coca-Cola and Edgardo GL, 2 other members from Texas A&M. A lot of fun plays here today, and hoping to see more in the future. I'm Murda. That was Mizono and Space Bacon. We'll see you in the Nexus.